Hi everyone, reporting in to talk about Justin Timberlake's DWI, driving while intoxicated, from earlier this summer. I believe he was arrested in late June or early July 2024. And while he was in the Hamptons, he refused a breathalyzer test, was held in jail overnight, and then released on his either on bail or on his personal recognizance. It doesn't really matter. He was released, he obtained an attorney, and he has another hearing date, kind of probably early in the fall. And I wanted to talk briefly about kind of the case, and we'll follow up with this case as there are future dates, but also just the reality of DWIs in this country and how pervasive they are, and how our system maybe isn't equipped to deal with them. Maybe the courts aren't the right place, but kind of what public health risk they pose to all of us. So we don't know if Justin Timberlake was intoxicated or not. The fact that he refused a breathalyzer test and had very red eyes in his photo can lead one to come to a hypothesis that maybe he was. He was apparently slurring his words and couldn't walk in a straight line. These are all alleged facts, so we don't know for certain. There are also kind of rumors, and I have experienced firsthand, I have been to multiple Justin Timberlake concerts, that he does drink during his shows, which is strange. Like, he'll take shots and stuff with the audience. It's a little different, I guess. But probably kind of not that surprising to those in his close community. So there's like the obvious question that comes to my mind, I don't know if others feel similarly, is like, why is someone like Justin Timberlake driving in the first place? Like, can't he get a driver? So there's that, right? Like there's this kind of entitlement, or like reverse entitlement or something, right? That someone who has access to having support in these different ways that would kind of mitigate harm isn't doing it. So that's one. There's the other element of refusing a breathalyzer test, which leads people to think you were actually intoxicated. But that doesn't actually lead to more convictions for DWIs. The next is that, and I don't practice in New York, so I can't opine on New York, but so many of these cases are dismissed. And one of the reasons they're dismissed is that, and we've talked a little bit about this on this channel, that a DWI is a criminal offense. Criminal offenses, have to be, a conviction for a criminal offense has to be found beyond a reasonable doubt. So there can be no doubt whatsoever in the mind of the fact finder. So either that's a judge, if it's just a judge trial, or a jury, if it's a jury trial, that the individual was intoxicated. So if there's any doubt as to whether the individual was or was not intoxicated, that has to be a not guilty. And it's very, very hard to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Especially if you don't have data. Like a breathalyzer would be data, blood work would be data, or specific data with limited room for error, I guess, but we don't have any of that. So it's going to be the testimony of the arresting officers, more than anything else. And frequently cases like this are dismissed. I think that's the conversation I want to have. And the awareness that I want to bring, that DWIs in Massachusetts, they're called DUIs, are, so like, there are a lot of people who drive while intoxicated. Of those lots of people who drive by while intoxicated, some are pulled over. Of those people who are pulled over, some are arrested. Of those people who are arrested, all of those cases go to court. And of those cases that go to court, very few result in any guilty conviction. And of those that result in a guilty conviction, very few end in someone permanently losing their license or having any restraint on their liberty. And that's the part that I just don't think a lot of people know. So comment down below. We'll be keeping up to date with this case. The other thing is that there was a report about Jessica Biel right? His wife, and how is or isn't reacting to the case, that she's moved on. And while I think people are interested, right? Like the partner who has to deal with this is a focus. It's very interesting to me that there are kind of popular press articles being written about her and not about him. Um, and so I think that's another thing we can just start talking a little bit about on this channel. Like, why are we so interested in what she's doing or not doing? And what does it mean to be partnered with someone who may or may not be struggling with some serious issues, including substance use disorder? So more on all of that as more details emerge, but comment down below what you want to see, and I'll get on it. I'm Margo Lindauer, and that's the law.